live. As long as I can get my microphone working. Maybe a little higher. Testy, testy, 1, 2, 3. Remove the U. And reveal our glorious Orlock. Okay. Click all the buttons. Do all the things. Good afternoon, everybody. It is Sunday, and thus means it is the time for a Sunday hobby stream. Hello to Daniel Jenna Grouse. Today, the title was Wacky Races and Wacky Terrain, although I don't know if I want to do terrain on stream or not, because it's kind of big and bulky. The terrain I've got is this very grimsy, whimsical terrain from the Vexed Village by Jolly Lark, which is not for Necromunda. It's a little too stone for Necromunda, and it's going to be very easy, but I can, if necessary. And the Wacky Races part was because I do have a couple, I still have the driver to paint for my car. So I could paint them, and I do have a scheme in mind to paint for them, but first I want to get a little blue on this here Orlocker, because I should probably have a gang ready for when we play our next campaign. And while I don't know what that is, and you'll see why when we start talk about it on Sunday, or Wednesday, although that won't come out till next week, we've got some big stuff in the works. So let me, all right, make sure I'm in center camera. There we go. Good afternoon, says Duke Moosey. Hello, Duke. Now this guy is the guy last week I painted in the totally not blue. It was more of a teal thing. Then I realized that I actually just really like the default Orlock color scheme instead. So I very carefully. One second, I'm gonna have to focus on him. Nope. Nope. There we go. Yeah, there we go. All right. Okay, so yeah, I realize I like the default Orlock blue a lot more, so I'm going to very carefully repaint his jacket so that I don't have to repaint the whole darn thing. Is it showing up on camera? One second. Trying something new here. Strike the balance between having good light and being in focus. So let me see, right about there. Yep, there we go. I think we'll go with there instead. It's a little more natural. Focus, there we go. Okay, so. All right, hope you all are doing some hobby today as well, although if you're not, that's fine, of course. I'm not sure if we'll do a Sunday rundown today or not, because the preview, if you didn't see, is literally 2 heresy tanks. Which is not very exciting. And not a lot for us to talk about. Now, I mean, sure, it's exciting for people who play heresy, but we are not those people, and we generally like to be positive about everything when we can. I think people will know when we're being a little fakey. Okay, now I've already got one coat of this on here, so this second coat should be adequate. I'm trying to make it so I have to do minimal cleanup, because I don't want to get trapped in that cycle of getting mistakes on details and having to redo them. Some of it's inevitable, like the jacket here. Okay, we'll let you dry, and then we'll do one last one. Now, for the Wacky Races part of today's show, I've got my driver here. Are you in focus, Mr. Driver? There you are now. Sorry, really playing with that focus today. Nope. Nope. I think my white balance is not helped by the napkin there. There we go. I've got my driver of my scum racer here. And I've got the gunner here. And I think I mentioned originally that they have wolf heads because they're originally kind of a wolf-themed Enforcer scum racer back before Enforcers had their own racers. Someone came up with the idea of another stream of possibly painting them like Bluey and Banjo from the children's cartoon show Bluey, which I've never watched, but apparently people really like it. If you have to watch a cartoon show with your kid, apparently Bluey's a good one. Sugar Candy Miniatures, hello Fiverr. So yeah, now the problem is I am bad at color matching, so I'm gonna have to look up real quick what colors Bluey and Banjo use, because I know they're blue, but Bluey Australian animated series, yes. Hey, you know there's a Bluey wiki? Bluey TV series. All right. Images. Okay, so that's kind of a very dark blue, almost purple, and then kind of wow, that's actually kind of prescient. The blue of Bluey is almost this kind of Stratos blue here. And if not, I've got lots of other... That might be a little too bright. Then again, so you got that for our main color. And then her belly is kind of like a very light blue. Bright sapphire. And then something on the very dark end. The darkness, maybe? It's more of a blue-purple. Do I have anything in a blue-purple? I'm sure I do. Maybe a navy? That might be not dark enough. How about a night sky? Nope, not. That's the thing is now, children's TV shows don't usually use desaturated colors, and which is my bread and butter, is very, very desaturated light colors, or very desaturated darkish colors. So this is also a bit of getting out of my comfort zone, as it were. Yeah, I think that'll work. All right, here we have our Bluey color palette. Oh wait, I need the tan. That's almost a yellow. So yeah, that's more of a yellowy than just a tan. I mean, yeah, in real life it'd be tan, but this isn't real life. Perfect. Baron Dune. All right. So we've got our Bluey color palette. Let's start going. You can see some of these I haven't even used yet, like I haven't even glued this on. Bingo is orange. Oh, is Bingo orange more than a tan? Oh, you're absolutely right. Yeah, okay. Orange with a dark orange. Okay, yes. Well, I'll cross that Bingo bridge when I get to it. Right now, we got to worry about Bluey. It's not the Bingo show. It's the Bluey show. I don't know. I'm going to end up watching children's cartoons for research. Same thing. I've been glue on this bright sapphire here. Let me know if you guys like the, or if you have a preference over the more zoomed out like this, or the more zoomed in. Because I can zoom in on my person here. I don't know if that's more... Come on. I don't know if that's more preferable for painting, or if you guys like to be able to just, see the whole thing. Right now, I'll leave it there. Okay, so I'm going to start with Arctic Gem, which is the second highest of the vivid blues. I guess I could go down one, which is the middle crystal blue. No, that's way too dark. Clearly, the lore here would be that these guys somehow discovered an ancient vox cast of these characters and are determined that the chaos they bring is something they wish to aspire to. So, I don't have a good mounting system for this. I'm just kind of sticking your butt on green tack, or blue tack. Green tack? There's no green tack. It's not a thing. I like it, but your hand is going to get tired without auto-tracking. Never been able to... So, generally, I'm getting better at just keeping it in one spot. The auto-tracking we have just with this lens just doesn't quite work. It's just not very good. And it really, really likes focusing on my mat. So I can't use auto-tracking. It's more of a practice holding in one spot. And I like hold it, hand on the ground type thing. Someday I'll get a better lens for it. So I might, that's one of the reasons I went zoom out. But, okay, got my blue for Bluey. Got my brush for Bluey. There we go. Got my, plus the focusing is not like picking her out right now because she's all one dark color. Now, I think what we need to do is the armor. We're just going to get some base colors down to start. Some real rough colors. We are in exploration mode right now because I don't know what I'm doing, having never painted a Bluey-inspired character. Okay. I'm going to switch it back to the wide for now. It's not going to work when you're... where'd you go? Come on. There you go. Okay. I am zoomed in all the way, by the way. I could zoom out all the way and just go... and see my whole desk, but it's not particularly helpful. At least till I get some colors on it. Once I get some colors on it, the camera will focus a little bit better. Alright, so. That super light blue is on the belly, and then the boots as well will be the super light blue, which is kind of funny. The pants are all... the normal blue. And this is, of course, probably should put it down a darker blue to start, just for issues of covering, because this super light blue over this super dark brown is going to need, I'm going to guess, quite a few coats. Now, we only really need to worry about the top of everything because she's driving the car, so. Oh boy, this is setting off every alarm bell in my head already. It's too bright. It's too bright. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure saying you're watching children's shows for research because you put in a list somewhere. Yeah, exactly. I think I'll stick to just having other people tell me what the right colors are. We brain trusted this on the Sonic Sledgehammer Discord. I was like, hey, I have a bit of madness here for a second, so can you guys indulge me? Making cameras focus on and track objects with action in phases can be tough. There's some cameras and lens combos popular with beauty vloggers with low struggle. Yeah, but I know there's lots of other streamers who do it, so I know that tech, or at least that ability, is out there. I just need to figure out how. All right, so now what I'm worried about is that there's not going to be enough definition between the bright sapphire and the Arctic gem, so I might have to drop down to a darker blue because of that. Because if there's not enough, it doesn't matter what's, if it works, that's fine. But if there's not enough color difference between them, it will be visually unappealing. Of course, you have to remember that everything here is going to be darkened down a bit by whatever wash I put on here, because I'm going to put a wash on here because this is not a competition piece. I don't paint competition pieces, so I'm happy to use washes to get it done. Plus, I like them. So just at a glance, I think that is enough definition, although I could probably drop it down 1 for crystal blue. Although I think the actual issue there is that the crystal blue isn't that it's too dark, it's that it's not desaturated. So what's it desaturated with? Hold on, are we going to go... No, that wouldn't be it. I mean, wolf gray? Yeah, okay, hold on. I think this is going to work. Now, my miniatures rundown crew know I've been threatening to do this for ages. So, I'm sure they'll be delighted to see me finally following on yet another promise. Oh, I think that's our blue. It's just a little too... Well, let's put it on there and let's let it dry first. Because things dry down. Maybe a little too into the gray. Yeah. Let's get it fully on there and let it dry before we make our judgments. I have a problem with that sometimes. It's one of the reasons why I do all this paint swatching is because the acrylic paints never dry how they look in the bottle, or at least very rarely. Okay. So that is a better definition, but even when it's dry, I don't like that gray. It's too gray. Okay, so that's not it. And it ain't it, chief, as they say. Imperial Navy's too dark. Maybe I do want crystal blue. I do have other blues as well. Lots of blues from the Monument paint line. Yeah, it's definitely lighter than that. Oh, that's the right shade, but not the right hue. I always get shade and hue confused. Sky Shard? No. Ultramarine? No. Okay, what other blues have I got? Sky Blue? And this is also worth noting that as long as the blue is looks good for what we're going for, it doesn't actually have to be a perfect match to what the cartoon is, because, you know, it's dusty and grimy and drabby and all that good stuff. I don't know if there's a lot of point actually to. So maybe I should just suck it up and take that. Yeah, yeah. I think I've talked myself into that. Okay, let's try the bright sapphire again. Now, of course, the hard part's going to be, quote-unquote, freehanding, as it were. Stick. Dang it. I don't know why I painted the outer armor first, because now I'm going to have to, like, repaint it, because I'm about to butcher it a whole bunch. Because there's no way I can paint the Under Armour without getting all over the Outer Armor. On the back here, of course, is very rough because this is not a mini. This is a Kit Bash mini. This is not her original pants. This is not her original. Like everything, nothing here matches. So her arms, well, and this is a great example because her arms are also supposed to be the same color as her body, but that's not how the GSC coloring works. So, do I keep it that? Do I do something different? The decisions that must be made. Right now we're going to put a blue over it because I know no matter what I put over it, it's not going to be brown. So I figure a blue is a better starting point. But man, I'm having a lot of trouble getting into all the nooks and crannies on this one. Yep, and see that's a great example because yeah, in the cartoon the arms are also blue, but clearly doing that here is not interesting. So what we'll do is I'm still going to put down this first layer of blue because it's going to be a better base for the bright sapphire that goes underneath it, or over top it, I mean. But what we'll do is her arms will also be that bright sapphire color. Because that will be far more visually interesting. I have no idea what I'm going to do with the head yet. She finds herself behind the wheel of a large automobile telling herself, these are not my original pants. This is not my beautiful... This is not my beautiful house. These are not my beautiful pants. My God, what have I done? Letting the days go by, let the bluey hold me down. Again, I don't know what color I'm going to paint all of her head yet, but I do know whatever color it is, it won't be, it won't be brown. So let's just get this blue down. Obviously, the ears and some of it are going. Some of the face is going to be that Baron Dune yellow. Oh, actually, I wonder if the Baron Dune yellow might be better to be the arm sleeve color. Oh, heck with it. Let's just get all this in blue. It's not going to be... Now, granted, a lot of this is actually going to be, like, really hard to see when she's actually in the racer because, like, her feet are way down there. But, putting love into the small details that only you know are there is perfectly legitimate because that's, like, I'm painting for me. I'm not painting for other people. I like other people to see it, so I feel good. But it's not strictly necessary. It's like my scum razor has a single squig on it somewhere that I forgot to file off. Now after this, we'll probably get Banjo out and start working on them as well. Because that way I can work on two things and let one of them dry. Shui Spurry Road. yeah, I can't believe I didn't make that joke yet. How did I miss that? Oh, thank you, Dr. Drybrush. Okay. Alright, I've got a base down in bluey. Now, what colors do I want for Banjo here? First off, let me get a painting handle for Banjo. Banjo's orange, so. Let's see. So again, it's an orange. It's a lighter color on the. It's like a cream color on the body, which of course all of this is again uh, available for artistic interpretation. And that is the problem. That is a very desaturated orange. That is not just a like a. It's not a bright, grabby orange. And desaturated oranges are for some reason hard to find in paint colors. I don't quite know why, but there's our color for Banjo's. Is Banjo a boy or girl? I actually don't know. There's our color for Banjo's darker spots. Is that burnt orange? And then maybe red orange. Yeah, you know, highlighting it will desaturate it, so I think that'll work. Okay, there we go. We've got all our colors. So let's start by applying. We're gonna start by applying the burnt orange everywhere because it's a darker color, and it'll be a nicer base for everything else to go over, rather than this brown. Boop boop. All right. So we're just gonna slather this on. Get a nice covering. Since the next campaign we're doing is Secundus, I really probably also should work on my ash waste rig. There is no way I'm theming that towards whatever gang I'm building at the time because I only have one ridge hauler. I'm not ever buying another ridge hauler. I really hope I don't prove myself wrong here later. But I really don't want to buy another ridge hauler, certainly not anytime soon. So it's going to be a very generic ash waste ridge hauler. It's going to be a Guild of Coin ridge hauler, not like converted for Orlock or Vansar or anything else. If I want to get a rig that is appropriate for those gangs, I will kit bash something, use something from guard or whatever. But I am not. Yeah, it's going to be a ridge hauler that will be able to be used for all factions because screw the idea of really focusing in on it. You can tell this guy has an Orlock grenade launcher because this glove is very Orlock. And of course, we're not going to do the gun in orange because that won't be orange. Now, some might point out that the applying children's media to a grimdark setting is old and tired, and the response is yes, yes, it is. But this is funny, in my opinion. Okay, got some orange on tomato. The orange, I'm interested to see how it turns out. Yeah. The ridge hauler was not an unfun kit to put together, absolutely. My desire not to get another one is entirely due to cost. And I never actually quite finished putting it together because there's so many options and so many bits and stuff that I got analysis paralysis and never finished it. It's playable, technically, but it's not painted or even primed. That might be my next project after these Orlock. Well, after these Scum Racers, then Orlock, then that thing. Because, it does only matter for the first third of the Secundian campaign, right? Like, I've had the Papagano song from the Magic Flute stuck in my head for like 2 days. You've never listened to that. It's hilarious. Well, maybe not listening to it isn't super funny, but watching is very funny. Because it's two people pretending to be birds flirting with each other. Is there any way to post a picture? I'm not on Discord at the moment. Not here. I don't think YouTube even lets you post pictures, and we have it set to no links because of the bots, because this is a free channel. So no, not that I can see, and even if you do post it to Discord, I won't be able to look at till after the stream, because with the way my tech setup works, I can't get to it right now. But if you do post in Discord, I will look at it, I promise. As long as it's not, as long as it's not something the bots, the moderators are going to nuke. Because in that case, I won't look at it. All right, so yeah, what we're going to do here is we are going to use this lighter blue, which this does not technically match Bluey, but we're going to use this lighter blue for her clothing. The orange I'm interested to see it turn out. Yeah, me too. It's going to be hard. I'm not good at painting orange, and orange is a hard color to paint. But we only get better at these things by doing them. So, let's do them. So even though this doesn't technically match Bluey, we're going to make her undersuit, I guess you would call it. I need to find a better something to... I might have to just super glue her to something. Like the top of a base really quick. Because painting her... when she's wobbling around like this is very irritating. Technically, what I should do is the undersuit should be a different, further color still from the armored undersuit for more color differentiation, and I suppose I could accomplish that by using the Barren Dunes, the yellowish color on that. But this blue does not cover very well. I have a more appropriate... As a tradition, first time I use a paint after putting the swatch on, so let's get the swatch painted, even if I don't end up using this paint on this project. There we go. Let's try this gray blue instead. I don't have anything else that's that color. What are you? What are you? You are a bright... Ooh, green blue. That's not going to work. No. No. No, I say no. Okay, oh, I think I like this gray blue better for Bluey's undersuit, which is fine. We'll just paint right over it, and it'll cover. Yep, this is going to be a stream of discovery, so you're looking for me to churn out some things today. This is not going to be the day for it. Although I do really need to churn out some Orlocks. But now that I know the color scheme I'm using, spoiler, it's just the default color scheme, that'll be very easy. Yeah, we're going to use that. Okay. Banjo's not dry. She's not dry. Well, okay, I guess we're painting someone else. Where'd my other little painting handle go? Oh, there you are. Don't put it up your rear end, it's not safe. Are you still in focus? Oh yeah, you must have worked. Okay. So this guy, normally I don't repaint guys I've already painted. And you know what, I'm not going to. I was about to say, but I want to repaint this guy because I know he's going to end up in the gang because he's got a grenade launcher, and I always have a grenade launcher. But you know what? To heck with it. Let's just leave him red. Why do they need to match? However, let's finish his goggles, because I never finished those. Looks like we need to get some of that black back. Oops. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Too much black, too much black. Let's undo that real quick. Very easy to do, thankfully. There we go. Okay. Got it? Okay. Always terrible at this part. Hold very still. And then paint over the edges. There we go. Nope. Dang it, did it again. Ah, yeah, I'm bad at this part. The problem is I can't get there from the other end because of this grenade launchers in the way. So, I'll just have to be very creative. Go in like this. Just kind of... Okay, I got it. Alright, need to let his dry, and then we'll put in my favorite color I've used for lenses, which is Caribbean Ocean from the Army Painter. Which is one of their speed paints. I don't use a lot of speed paints. They don't find their way into my painting process as much anymore. But, when they're good, they're good. Alright. Okay. Get that done, get that done. There we go. I have a bandit on my finger because yesterday I was attacked by a wild turkey. It's not a joke. Wild turkey got into our actual turkey pens, and I had to dissuade her from being there. But A, I didn't want to hurt her. Didn't want to like kill her for no reason. And B, I couldn't just scare her out without also losing our actual turkeys, and I didn't want to lose our flock. So it was kind of like I had to pick her up and throw her out. And if you need to pick up a turkey, all you have to do is float them upside down. They'll fall asleep. You can't leave them like that for too long because eventually the blood will rush to their head, and that's not healthy for them. So ethically, you need to not spend too much time flipping them over. But you can flip them over, and they'll fall asleep, and then you just kind of put them outside, and then they wake up and run away. And that's what I did. But I did sustain a very slight scratch in the process. Go. Get a last coat on this guy's blue, and then we can redo the... Oh! That's the wrong blue. I keep doing this today. Oh. I gotta wait for that to dry. Maybe I need more caffeine. Anyway, we'll do this blue, and then we'll... I did kind of unavoidably hit this red, I guess it's not quite the default color scheme for Orlock, because instead of a white rag, I went for a red rag on this guy. What I might do is white rags on rank and file. Like this lad. I mean, that's white, air quotes. Very dirty white. And then do red rags on the leaders and champions to differentiate. Turkey fact time with soda. Yes, turkey fact time. Gobble, gobble. Other turkey fact time. A male is called a tom, and a female is called a groundling. Which is why our male is called Major Tom, and our groundling is called Ground Control. This is ground control to Major Tom. You've really made the grade. And the papers want to know what whose clothes you wear. Oh, David Bowie. Miss you, man. Alright, where'd I put my maroon? My very good maroon that I like using on everything right now. Oh, here it is. I am loving this... No, this maroon right here. That's not maroon. This maroon. Right here. I like this stuff. This beret maroon from Army Painter. It's a nice, dark, deep maroon. I enjoy it quite a lot. I need to... It's become my go-to for when I want a nice poppy red on something. Okay. Ooh, it came in a Miniatures Rundown. FM, all the Under 5 classics all the time. We've got more Under 5 classics. Less commercials and more new country. More Reba. Sorry, I'm referencing Mystery Science Theater there. Am I out of Reba? Do I need more Reba? Also, hello, sorry, dude. I'd sing more, but I'm trying to get more people to watch our streams, not fewer. Ooh, I'm so excited. If you check your subscriptions box tomorrow, we have something that we worked big on releasing. I won't spoil what it is, but you can probably guess because we've been talking about it a while. And we had a ton of fun filming it, and I actually had a ton of fun watching it too. Our very first battle report will be going live tomorrow. It's in the can, it's ready, it's edited. It's nothing particularly fancy, but we had a lot of fun filming it, and Cody worked very hard to get it together, so if you are at all interested in that, please do watch it to make our egos feel better. And I did notice that I looked at the opening shot, and for some reason, all of us, you've got 4 guys who are kind of similar in build, and we all have kind of similar hairstyles and kind of similar beards, and we're all wearing just beige gray, and it's like, wow, we, sometimes stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason, huh? We sure do look like a group of Warhammer players, I'll just say that. Except for Cody's pink hat. It's a nice spot of color in an otherwise drab and dull clothing environment. Next time I'm wearing a bright red shirt or something, I don't know. Okay, there we go. And then I need to clean up I did mess up his glove there. Warmunder is more betterist. Luckily for you guys, I can't sing the magic flute because I don't speak Italian. Or German. No, it's in German. Yeah, sorry. Papageno is an Italian-ish name, but the actual opera's in German. And I can't sing German very well. I mean, I can't sing very well, but I definitely can't sing German very well. Der Zieberfluten? I don't know. Claire, you should wear Orlok blue since it works so well. I want to do an Orlok cosplay because I can just wear it to the Grimdark Hallway and, fit in perfectly well. It won't even look weird. Now, if I had any guts, I'd do an Escher cosplay, but A, that might be taken as a little mean if I didn't do it very correctly. And B, I don't have the guts. I do think I will be painting my Escher in kind of, I guess what you might call mall goth colors. Dr. Drybush Rammstein lyrics don't count. Du hast Gefahr. Alright, so, I've got to clean his jacket too. Forgot about that. Forgot about the jacket. And the little... Okay, and then I gotta get his little strap in there. Yep, there we go. I will say one thing I am tiring of. I need to just keep it zoomed in. is the straps. The straps and everything are getting to me with Games Workshop stuff. It's everywhere, and it's so pervasive. And as I'm getting better at painting, I kind of miss when there's. I get why, because it looks better with like the contrast stuff, and it looks better with their painting techniques of layer of base layer wash, all that good stuff. But I like having more open canvas to like practice things and do what to say, bump maps, not bump maps, but ups and downs and stuff like that. And that's gone when there's everything is a surface already occupied by a strap, which is kind of a bummer. But that's them. If I want to make my own minis, I would make my own minis. So get a little blue on his chin there, and his chinny chin chin. There we go. Okay. All right. Once this dries, I'll re-null those things to tie it into. Oops, that's the wrong red. What red did I use for you? Was that red oxide? That was red oxide, wasn't it? Making your own minis is fun. Yes, you would know. Now, I don't remember, you said this already, and forgive me because I cannot remember, but I think you designed them and then someone else sculpted them, right? I would love to do that someday, but look, if I get a wildly successful wildly successful published indie game someday, perhaps I shall too. Now, yes, Snack 28 had minis before it was published. Shh. Great job, YouTube, crashing. My YouTube app on my phone crashed. YouTube crashed. Yeah, no crap, YouTube. Okay, this man just looks like he's the mud man from Predator. Alright, so, banjo. Alright, so only Banjo's like the side of Banjo's head. So the only place this actual super darkness is going to end up is on Banjo's head. So what I think we're looking for is the light orange for the body. This is where they differ from Bluey, because Bluey's, that yellow is only on their snout and ears, whereas Banjo's cream color is snout and belly and hands. Banjo uses fewer colors, it looks like. So, we're going to be a little creative with this. Yeah, Slurry Dude. Historical accuracy is another thing aside, right? Where it's like, you got to have the proper number of pouches and belts and everything like that to make sure you get it right. Otherwise, people literally will not buy your models. Alright, so the main base of the color is going to be this red-orange. Ooh, I wish I had something more desaturated. Do I have anything? All my oranges are these super bright. That's almost, when you think about it, that's almost more like a, dare I? No, that's too peachy. But it's almost more like a flesh tone. Which would be weird. But it just might work. Yeah, because, I guess a flesh tone... What is a flesh tone if not a desaturated orange, right? Wait, is that just... a sunny skin tone? No. It's just a little more orange than... A second, this is an old bottle, I gotta actually really blend this one up. It's just a little bit more desaturated than my red orange here. Oh no, I think that is actually... but it's a little darker than the Sunny skin tone. So I need something just a little bit in between Sunny skin tone. And yes, before someone brings it up, I could mix it. I just don't want to. Lava orange? Or, alternatively, I could just go, he's orange because that's what blue, the banjo is, and then just say, well, like, yeah, the orange doesn't match, but that's fine. Right? I could just fudge it. I'll try putting this on the palette and see how it looks. Oops. Apparently I've never used this paint before. Yeah, there we go. Oh, thank you. Doop, 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 doop. All right. I mean, that's way too bright orange for... I mean, because, you know, an orange healer, or red healer is what I think blue or banjo is supposed to be, is a red healer. They're not actually red. Real life fur colors don't tend to be that little shade of orange unless it's a fox. We're gonna... this is a tough one. Burnt orange is kind of like burnt orange. Now I wonder, hold on, we're gonna do some mixing here. Here, I'll let you guys in on this so you're not just sitting here watching nothing. Alright, so I've got my... Let me get it on camera for you. Got my burnt orange here. Got my burnt orange here, and my sunny skin tone here. And none of them are in focus, although I guess paint being in focus matters a lot less. And I've got this red-orange on the right. And let's see if we can make a banjo color. Grab my worst brush. So if I just took... Because maybe what I need is just to add some more orange to sunny skin tone. Or other way around. So let's take my dark orange and let's mix in some... Oh, that was way too much sunny skin tone. Although that's a lot closer. Yeah, that's a lot closer. Let's take a little bit of the orange again and re-orange it up. Oh. I think we've got what we want. Yeah, I think that's what I want. Yeah. Yep, there we go. Okay, there's our color. So, I am mixing burnt orange with Vallejo Sunny Skin Tone. A very old bottle of Vallejo Sunny Skin Tone, but hey, still works, man. Alright, let's get this back off camera, because get the mini back on camera. Shoop. Okay. Now, I asked you to stay here. No. There we go. Okay. Alright, so this is going to be most of the body, so we're just actually going to do a nice... Nope, I think actually a little more orange. So the problem is I need a little more sunny skin tone to go with it. A little more burnt orange because it's off my palette. There we go. Mix that all up. Nope, more orange, more orange, more. Honestly, probably be better to, probably be easier to add sunny skin tone to the orange, because it looks like I'm adding way more orange than sunny skin tone at this point. I am doing a very bad job of mixing here. I'm not good at mixing colors. Okay, that's back where we were. So let's just get really a ton of orange in there. Alright, new tack. Taking my burnt orange. Alright. I think we got it. Oh, hold on. Stream freeze? Again? No, I'm just mixing. Okay. Alright. Let's get... There we go. That's kind of the banjo-y orange I'm looking for. Now, of course, this guy has a shirt off, so when we go to paint his skin tone, we'll have to make sure their skin tone isn't too similar to this, well, sunny skin tone that we have going here. Okay, there we go. Now, the banjo's tan color will be represented on the face, and the well, I'm probably gonna actually put it on the pants. Strange as that is. Banjo actually has a... Wondering how the Beastman Blood Bowl team with Kip Ash and Necromunda. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the Beastman Blood Bowl team much. That being said, anything is a Necromunda model if you want it to be, so... Fiverr's going to be so proud of me for mixing colors. Now, I would never do this for an army. I'm not mixing colors for an army. Or even a full team. But this is a one-off mini. For a one-off mini, mixing colors. Fair game, even for me, who doesn't like mixing colors. But maybe I don't like it because I'm just not good at it yet. That's a banjo orange, if I've ever seen one. Toe to tip, banjo. All right, back to Bluey. Let's get that gray blue on her under parts. That's a weird sentence to say. Yeah, that just covers better, honestly. It's not going to take 2 coats, though. Alright, after this, I'm gluing her to a base. I don't care anymore. This is getting really difficult to paint when I'm trying to... When she's moving around, I'm like, stay the hell still. Which is, you know, the equivalent of dealing with a toddler, so maybe this is just thematic painting. I mean, she is a toddler in this show, right? They are like little kids. I have 3 nephews and nieces, and they're just none of them are into Bluey. My nephew is a Thomas the Tank Engine kind, which is great because I was a Thomas the Tank Engine kid. I am proud of you. Thank you. Thanks, parent. My painting parent. I also think it's funny that you said banjo instead of bing. Oh, God! Bingo! Wait, it's bingo, not banjo? Am I just thinking banjo because of Adam's cat? Oh, no. Why didn't you correct me on the important Bluey lore? Come on, guys. Oh, no, I am shamed in the court of Bluey opinion. Hey, this guy's ready for us to put a little spot of... Bingo. Bingo. Is there banjo on the show? Oh, no, wait, the dad is Bandit, right? Okay. It's all coming together. It's all coming together. Just a spot of this Caribbean Ocean here. And look at that. Looks like he wears his sunglasses at night. I wear my sunglasses at night so I can forget the lyrics to that song I don't know. Alright, let's get a Nuln Wash on you. Show me you crank that Nuln oil. You crank that Nuln oil. You crank that Nuln oil. You super shade that many. Super shade that many. Sorry. Alright, get this in here. Oops. There's too much water on that brush. Oh, no, I just didn't shake it. Yeah, I did shake it. What's wrong with you? There we go. Get it nice and shaded to match all the rest of the mini, because... There we go. And what's really funny is if I had put like I should have put a thumbnail of Bluey as the thumbnail for this, because that would have made people click on it and go, what? I know people have done like I saw someone did the very nicely converted entire Bluey and Bingo Marine. I gotta get in there. So I'm certainly not the first to apply Bluey to Warhams. Nor the last, I bet. You've said... Alright. Anyway, back to Beastman for Necromunda. I don't know about the Beastman converting. I do know I converted the Skaven Blood Bowl team for the... back before they just redid the new Eshin. So I know that Blood Bowl teams certainly can be converted to, you know... Oh, everyone else is still drying for a bit, so I need to find something else to grab. I guess I could just find another Orlock. Let's get this guy, who would clearly be a greenhorn, because you got a... Bee Jasmine paints? I don't know what you're referencing. Bee Jasmine paints? Bee Jasmine paints? Oh, that was their... Oh, they were the one who did the Bluey. Oh, cool. Okay. Yes. I could not remember who it was. Alright, so... Yep, so blue on the... I guess what I should just do is just assembly line these guys, right? While I'm waiting for the bluey and bingo to drive. I wonder maybe I should put a green tabard on these guys because they're greenhorns. I could see that working, maybe. I don't know if it'd work with the color scheme, though. Okay, so yeah, you know what? Let's just churn through these lads real quick while we're waiting for things to dry. This guy here is going to be a leader at some point. Get him on camera, Josh. Okay, this guy here is going to be a leader at some point. Because I very often like to start my leaders with power picks and plasma pistols. Orlok, especially, have very, very powerful leaders, and with 3 wounds, you can afford to play them aggressively. Because they're actually kind of hard to kill. You know, most leaders and champs aren't going to go down to a single autogun shot just by normal because, you know, they got at least 2 wounds. But with the Orlok leaders with their 3 wounds, you know, even a single lucky plasma gunshot isn't going to kill them. Like, it'll just make them very angry, and then they're going to run up and smack you in the head, and they have good weapon skill and good ballistic skill. There's a reason I like Orloks. I really feel like everything in the Orlok roster is good. I know there's other things that are better in other rosters that fulfill the same role. You can tell, this guy, you can tell, was a test bed for slap-chop color schemes, because I've got red and brown and this green down here. Are you dry yet, Bluey? No, still not dry. Okay, well, that's fine. Okay, so going in order of whom I'm more likely to use next. We'll go with this gal, who is one of the... It's from the kit that's called Orlok Champions, but she's got a pistol and a chainsword, so she's definitely more of a greenhorn maybe, or a ganger at best. Like, I'm not giving a champion a stub gun, okay? She doesn't have sleeves. Oh, okay. Nope, she is just wearing a vest. Sick. These are the resin ones. I really like this kit. It is Forge World resin, but it's from Forge World from when they were actually doing good things. I think all these ladies are sleeveless. Maybe I'll have to look later. Get that in there. They also don't have the annoying straps across their chest, which is really nice. 1 second, I gotta get a drink. Okay, I looked it up. They are actually called the Orlok Champion and Gangers set. So, my bad. And they are also all sleeveless. Yes, a Mastercrafted stub gun is only 10 credits. You can tell which one's the champion, and it's clearly this gal, who is one-handing a heavy bolter. So, you know, run. Because she's probably just going to kill you. I like this model a lot. Look at that long hair. Like, I'm going to look forward to paint that. I need to find a hair color. But yeah, she's a champion. Like, I have another Orlok heavy bolter guy. But, sorry, no offense to you, dude, because this guy also looks cool. She's the one I'm using. Like, sorry, dude. She just looks cooler. Look, I don't mean to be mean, because no offense to you, man. But but she's got a serious leg up on you there. I found out where my mining laser bit went. I took that heavy bolter bit and glued a mining laser front to it, and that's how I made it roll like mining laser, because I like the mining laser. I think it's hilarious. Is it probably the best thing? No. Mastercrafted gives you 1 reroll once per game, by the way. For plus 50% of the credits cost. Which, on a champion with a plasma gun who just really needs to secure a kill sometimes, I could absolutely see that being worth it. On a stub pistol, I mean, I guess it's only 5 extra credits, so maybe it is worth it. Just churning out the blues, churning out the blues, putting blue on everyone. It's probably the damage 3 thing, yes. Blue, are you dry yet? Okay, Blue's dry. Time for another layer of that wolf gray, or that gray blue, on her belly. I forgot to glue her again. I forgot to gluey bluey. I'm kind of waffling, and if anyone's got opinions, let me know. Because Bluey has that tan on her muzzle, do I also put that on her sleeves, or does that stay the light blue that matches her undersuit? I think I answered my own question here, because they do butt up against each other. And I want that visual distinction. So, guess I answered my own question. We'll try it. We'll try it. Okay. Still got a lot to cover with her, like I need to do. By the way, the heads are the resin Space Wolves heads, which they came out with, and I guess people didn't like them because they stopped selling them really quickly. Which is a shame, because I loved them. I thought they were fantastic. I thought they were very Space Wolves. But other people were like, no, these things are terrible. These aren't how Space Wolf heads look. I'm like, alright, fine, I guess. I'm not a Space Wolves player, so maybe I don't know. Are those the rats you're going to run over with your buggies? No, these are, these are Bluey and Bingo. They're going to drive the buggy. They originally, the joke was that my Enforcer gang was all dog-themed because they were the Hounds of Helmwar, and also I had a bunch of Space Wolves helmets I wanted to use. And I don't like the Enforcer Paladin helmet. I just find it boring. So I was like, oh, I'll do this. And I did, and then I never painted that gang. So, they just sat and sat and sat. And these guys were envisioned as the drivers of the Scum Buggy, because that Scum Buggy was designed for Enforcers, but because it was before the Enforcer Tauros Venator came out. Taurox Venator. Tauros? I do not remember what the actual name is. The Enforcer car. So I was like, oh, I'll make a Scum Racer, and that was also before the Enforcer book came out, so if you were playing Enforcers and you didn't want them to be really unfun, you played Bad Zone Enforcers. But now, Enforcers have their own car. And they don't need these guys anymore, so I've readapted them as Scum Racers. Hello, Spudgy, you made it. Before the end of the stream this time. Which, given that I think it's late there for you. I don't remember exactly where you are, and I'm not going to dox you if I do remember. But, I believe it is late there. I believe you're in the Europe. Which, thank you for coming, though. We're happy to see you here. You and your absolute madwoman who is painting a huge amount of really cool terrain with a brush. The Enforcer vehicle is a lovely. It is. I haven't. I never finished building it because I want to paint it in sub-assemblies. And when I saw that Enforcers were getting a new book, I put all my Enforcer stuff on hold. And now they got a new book, and I like the new book. I just haven't gotten back around to being an Enforcer. But that Venator will make it into my... I also think it's a really good vehicle. 1715 British. Okay, yeah. British, not English. That's how I get killed by a claymore. But yeah, that Enforcer Venator is a really fun vehicle. I really like it. I also think it's actually one of the better vehicles out of the box because... Or, I'm sorry, one of the better anti-vehicle vehicles because that concussion cannon, the twin-linked concussion cannon, is just a machine of making people take handling checks. And you will deal more damage through handling checks than almost anything else against heavier vehicles. I don't know how you paint it without a brush. Oh, you know what we mean. Only with a brush. You spend so much time masking. Yeah, I actually kind of agree with that. I should say I'm not razzing you at all. It's just, I should say, the train looks really nice, and you're doing a lot of it. That's the cool part. Because, yeah, I mean, it's like, I could have saved myself probably half an hour of time doing these oranges with an airbrush, right? I chose not to. Okay, so... Bluey. Let's clean you up now that I've decided what your actual colors are. Oh, no, we need to try the Baron Dune, which makes me think of Baron Harkonnen from Dune. That's cornstalk with just a pickaxe or a rock or something. Got it. I mean, I did mean the bomb, like the mine. But then the idea of actually using like a Scottish claymore was also really funny to me. And then someone found that one plush of the Point Towards Friend claymore, which I kind of regret not buying that on Makeship, but I don't need another plushie. I have enough. I don't really use them for anything. They just kind of sit on my shelf or bed and stare at me. Okay, so. Yep, that's going to be some nice... Oh, that does not cover very well. That's fine, but that will be some... Yeah, I don't know if I like that there. The undercoating could have used a rattle can. Sure. Yes, that is weird to me. That I undercoat terrain with rattle can less for speed and more for durability, because I find that anything I use with an airbrush, now with minis or whatever, you really shouldn't be touching the mini directly all that often, but terrain gets beat up and scratched and thrown in bins and moved around. So I really find myself with terrain... We don't get access to mind here. It's not America. Now. Explosives are just as tightly controlled in America as they are in most places. We have guns, not bombs. Only the army gets bombs. With your guns and your bombs, da da da, da da da, yeah, ha ha ha. Nope, I'm not liking this at all. I'm not like it. Oh, I got the orange there. Okay, you know what? That's fine. But I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't think that's gonna match my vision of Bluey, because those arms are so much real estate that they need to be a blue color, or will not read as Bluey. I think it's, yeah, I mean, I work tangentially with chemistry. Making something that will explode is not hard. Making something that will explode safely is hard. Making something will all explode when you want to. Yeah, rattle can varnish, I definitely would. Okay, so yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I wonder, maybe then do I switch the, I know this is not Bluey-ish, but do I put the yellow on her belly in addition to her face? Put her aside to dry that, and I'm going to redo the sleeves in that light blue, because, yeah, I do not like that. You had 10 of old furniture paint walking around. Yeah, that's very fair. We've got an upcoming terrain project, and when I do that, it will be very largely with craft paints because I have a lot of them and they're free. And using what you have a lot of for free on big, you know, the economy is in shambles. That's a quote from, I forget what show. This is the problem with mixing, is that I do have to, when I run out of paint, I have to keep mixing it. It's not drying, because I'm using my wet palette, but it is, you know. That's fine. Let me see, that top part's going to be the darker orange. The pants, I think, will be the pants in this belly here will be the Banjo's. Bingos! I did it again. It is being consumed. Nice concrete finish, yeah. Like her dad? Yeah. GC build does have that nice lower hazard suit frame that's good for a different shade versus the upper part with all the Darth Vader dials. Yes. Yeah, and that'll be like Ryan on Banjo here. Bingo! The upper dark will be lighter, will be darker, and the down here will be lighter. The lighter orange. So sometimes when you're painting something that is inspired by and not using the actual shapes, it's more important to use the colors in a way that makes sense than it is to try and put them in the right place the right time. In my opinion, at least. I think that does also depend. Now, we are also painting, you know, trash hobos, right? Like, we're painting... I'm off. Well, first off, I'm painting off camera, sorry. We're painting, you know, Necromundon's Hive Scum. They are literally not, like... They're not going to have access to all the good stuff to make this work. Which, of course, doesn't make any sense anyway, because it's like, how would they know what Bluey is? Bluey doesn't exist in the Warhammer 40k universe, I'm sure. So, best not to think about it too hard. Okay, well, I think we've got that orange down, so now I just need to not screw it up so I don't have to mix more. That's easy, right? Just don't screw it up so you don't have to mix more. Well, that head is not coming in. We'll need that to dry. Back to Bluey. Bluey! Okay. So, let's fix that arm. Because that is, yeah, that's not a good color. Uh-oh, there's a bit of crap there. Bit of cruft. What are you in there? Ah, there's a bit of thing that got caught in the paint. Alright, while I have her off, let's stick her butt on a base. Hey ho, Luca, how are you? Yeah. Wacha. Tiny dot of super glue on your butt. Stick, dang it. Oh my gosh, why are you not sticking? Fine, a bigger doll, super glow in the butt. Now, I shouldn't even really put any time into the back at all because that is completely covered by the car seat that she's sitting on, so, like, you cannot see it. And I'm going to have to remind myself of that because that's something I struggle with. Oh, blue is glory. Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. No, I like the idea that blue has some sort of historical text that's taught as high classical literature. Like the Iliad or something. Well, you know what? Maybe if the Emperor had watched Bluey, he'd be a better father. Maybe the Emperor, I bet, like, what's his name? Malcador was like, Emperor, you should watch this. It will give you advice. And he's like, I don't watch that cartoon crap. I know how to raise a kid. Narrator's note, he did not know how to raise kids. Chat pro tip, do not superglue your butt. Don't kink shame me. Did you have a Tzedakah mess? Oh yeah, you didn't hear us fawning over it? That was amazing. I loved it, and I need to steal that idea. Because it's cool. In my Warhammer verses, they think that Tolkien's work are accurate historical documentation. I mean, that's just a good idea. I glued my ball to my butthole again. I think it's an AI-generated song, so I shouldn't sing it, because it's crap. But anyway. Alright, so Bluey is drying both in paint and on butt, so let's go back to bingo. Not banjo. Let's get... Okay, so we want to paint up. So for bingo, that light color is kind of like a bony spikes color. It's a nice cream, right? Which, cream colors are kind of hard to find, because I guess they're hard to do. Because I have lots of, like, bone colors, but not a lot of, like, what you might call colors of cream. I think the closest thing might actually be this ivory here. But there is no way I am trying to put this directly over that orange. So we're going to start with this dark ivory, because I know this color is a lot better. Emperor or Worf, who's the worst father? Ooh. Worf only was bad to one kid. I'm going to be honest with you. My Star Trek knowledge is almost entirely consumed by osmosis, but I am actively trying to fix that. I just need to find a place that it's free to watch, because I'm not, no offense, I don't want to pay to watch anything, let alone Star Trek. Not that I don't think it's worth it, but I am really trying to, like, fill in my Star Trek knowledge. Because I know so much by osmosis, like, Worf's a bad father, Riker plays the trombone, and, you know, Garrick's a bisexual disaster. Like, but I haven't actually watched Deep Space Nine or TNG or the original series. So I really need to fix that. So if anybody knows where it's streaming for free, and yeah, I could go onto an oil rig and find it. I'm just spectacularly lazy. Imagine being a teacher and the Emperor turns up for parent-teacher connecting, trying to tell him that little Conrad needs to work on his maths. Trying to tell him that little Conrad needs to stop, like... Ugh. Yeah, oh god, parenting TikTok. Do not get me started on parenting TikTok. Do not get me started on most X-TikToks, anything. Teacher TikTok, parenting TikTok. Anything TikTok, like, insert subgroup here, TikTok, makes that subgroup looks like the worst aspect of humanity you've ever heard of. If you go by parenting TikTok, like, nobody should have kids, ever. You go by teacher TikTok, nobody should ever be around kids, ever, because they clearly don't understand what children are and how they work. Or don't work. But that's my soapbox for the day. I'll spare you all that rambling. I'll ramble instead about how the Emperor is a bad father and a terrible human being and not aspirational. I do need to buy more Corpse Grinder cults. TOS is like 3 episodes wrong. They just run those 3 episodes over and over again. TOS is like last on my list to catch up on. I do want to watch it. Like, and by watch it, I mean put it on in the background while I paint. But no, what I should say I want to watch are TNG and Deep Space Nine. Like, I want to watch The Next Generation. I want to watch Deep Space Nine. I think that's where the most interesting Star Trek is, at least easily consumable. Also, in fairness to Big E, his parenting was somewhat irritable made him adopt into hellholes. I avoid TikTok and Insta seem like ways to make me feel super bad at how pain how I look. Now, Insta, I don't like Instagram as a platform because it's like I follow a ton of people on Instagram for this, and wow, somehow you scroll 2 posts and it's trying to show you random other crap. I don't ever feel bad about how I paint because those people aren't me, and I never feel inadequate with other people's painting because it's like I'm looking at my worst, but their best, And I always think it's never important to never compare yourself to other people on the internet when you're painting. Unless you are trying to paint Golden Demon, in which case you need to do that to understand what you're up against. But if you're just painting, even me, I don't post my failures onto Instagram very much. Sometimes I remind myself to do it, but no, I post when I'm finished and I'm happy with it. On stream, you can see me make a lot of failures and go, well, that didn't work. Or you can see my the fact I'm a very slow painter because I do not have fantastic brush control. And I tend to mess up and get paint spilled places a lot. But you don't see that on Instagram. Looks stuff I can't comment on because as a cisgender male, the algorithm doesn't bother trying to hit me with those things. This is trying to sell me beard products. All right, so those pants are going to be balanced out by more on his upper there. Babylon 5, yes, that's different. Worf really didn't show up most of the time. Yeah. I mean, if you really want to go into it, I don't think the Emperor tried to be a parent. He tried to be an Emperor. And I would argue the supreme arrogance of believing that you have the power and knowledge to be an emperor and make those decisions and be correct all the time is part of being a bad person. And he didn't have kids. He was never a parent at all. That was never the point. He was a military commander and an emperor and I guess a dictatorship or whatever you want to call it. Oh God, what's the word when it's one person ruling everything? Autocrat, right? He's like, I have the complete power, and as long as everyone has the complete power, I will be fine, and everything's fine. Just listen to me. Never mind, I need a Cogfort and a Falchion. Good lord, good luck with that, Sky Shield. But first off, if you didn't buy the Cogfort already, you're gonna have to wait because they're sold out. All right, I might need an actually darker orange, which I do have. I have orange oxide. Actually, that's not a darker orange. Yep, I'm getting a darker orange because the orange I picked isn't quite dark enough. I went too dark on the initial orange. Well, let's paint it on here and see what happens. It won't hurt because I'm going to paint dark orange on here anyway. Despot, yeah. Not depot. It's the use of pants, right, because in British English, pants is underwear. What we call underwear. It's not quite as bad as the use of fanny, which in American English is your butt. And in British English is something else. Your front bits. Under patriarchy, what is the father but the emperor of the house? Insert my emotional support Discord store sticker. Yep, I'm going to need a darker orange there. Now, do I have one? He says. I'm Mr. Questions. Okay, wait, do I have a darker orange? Oh, I gotta have a darker orange somewhere. What about orange oxide? What does orange oxide look like next to? Ow, my thing came off. Boo. Now, Mitchell and I are actually not recording a Sunday preview rundown today because there are literally only 2 tanks, and we can't talk for a long enough time. And if you don't talk for a long enough time, YouTube is like, oh, well, that's not a full-length video. Punish. So, on days like today, we just won't do it. Well, okay, so if you need to make a darker orange, how do you make it? Well, you add brown. Brown? Brown. How about you? What are you? You are a burnt sienna. It's a maybe. What are you? You're a burnt umber, because no one can cook umber. You're a dark golden brown. You're an orange brown. Wait, hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Wait, hold on. Dang it. You can tell where I didn't do a good job of preparing the cats for these, because I've broken off all the, But I think this might be our actual bluey color. Or our actual... I think maybe that orange stays that orange, and maybe this orange-brown is what I use for actual... bingo, not banjo. I did it again. Guys, why do you keep letting me misname bingo? I mean, Sienna is already burning herself. Like, she is kind of literally always on fire. Howdy to Sarah Heimliny? Sarah Himmelnick? I can read the letters, but I don't know which order they are supposed to be pronounced in. Hello. But anyway, Mitchell and I aren't recording today, so I kind of should go a little longer today. If we want to. I wonder. Yep. Look at that. Look at that. That's the desaturated orange I was looking for. Okay, well now, so we have... So, I am now no longer using my mixed colors. Sorry, Fiverr. Please don't be disappointed in me. I did mix them and find out a color I like, though. So, and I'm going to continue using that mixed color for the darker orange. So I am still using it, I guess. I'm just, Also, I don't know why I'm painting this right now, because I need to paint the skin first. All right, so here's a skin color question. Do we make him... I mean, this is obviously like kind of a male character, so I guess a male character is cosplaying as Bingo, whatever. Doesn't really matter. It's Necromunda, who cares? Do we give him dark skin to contrast more with the orange, or do we give him very pale skin to contrast with the orange? My instinct is pale skin to make it pop more. And I'm going to use a lot of browns on him, so I don't want the brown of his orange to mix with the brown of the skin. Yes, that is a lovely color. I can't believe it's the first time I used it. It's orange-brown from the signature series of Flame On Miniatures. And I believe this signature series is designed to help you paint non-metallic gold. I've not ever tried painting non-metallic metals yet. Someday, I will try non-metallic metals, because I think it's important to do it to understand light. But that day is not this day. This day, we paint metallic metals. I'm going to give him a very light-colored skin. Almost like an Irish color skin, I guess. Like a very pale iron orange. First, let's put down this Jasper skin to give a nice warm base. Actually, not Jasper. No, Jasper's not what I want. I want topaz skin. Like orange juice. I'm going to double check with Mitchell. We're not actually recording. In my rush to figure out the colors, I made the mistake of not painting from the bottom. Which means now, so rather than... One example of the color I'm talking about of skin, it's like kind of that very pale... Oh wow, on camera that looks positively white. In real life that looks a lot better. But even with very pale skin, it's very important we start from a nice, warm-blooded base. Otherwise they look like a ghost. Spooky. one of these days, and I threatened this last time, and I didn't quite get to it, I need to actually finish a MIDI ahead of stream so that we can go over, like, highlighting and stuff together. Because so far, every stream I've ever done has been base coats and we'll wash at the end. And we're not even going to get to the wash today because I didn't focus on one character. I focused on the exploration of figuring out. There we go. I think non-metal is overused too much. I don't think it's overused. I think the reason it's used is that it shows mastery of light. It shows understanding of light and placement, which is, you don't paint colors, you paint light, is to quote Vince V. And there's a lot of truth to that, right? Putting down the colors is not the hard part of our hobby. Putting down the highlights and the shades, and that's light. That's where our hobby actually gets challenging. And what actually makes it look good. So non-metallic metal is a way to fully explore that. And I think a big part of it is, because like a lot of people like to say, well, people are just showing off with non-metallic metal. And that's certainly part of it. But I think if you watch people who are really passionate about it do it, they also find a lot of joy in it. Because it's figuring out in the same joy that we can find in putting on a cool shade and going, oh yeah, now that looks real. And putting on a good highlight and going, oh yeah, that looks real. I see a lot of those advanced painters put out non-metallic metals because for them, that's their joy of like, I'm figuring out every shadow and light placement and how it would work, and this is so much fun to me. I think a great mini painter for that is Sam Lenz. If you watch, Sam Lenz is literally a Golden Demon winning award painter. He's a fantastic painter. Also a really cool guy. And his videos, he started up videos again every week, and the light placement on them is far above my head, and yet still it's fun to watch him do it because his understanding of it. Or just Vince Venturella, his videos on non-metallics about how you place light. No wash day. You're painting a blue cartoon animal going fast since the one time there will be no Sonic Tonic. I actually haven't used Sonic Tonic in a few weeks. It's all been Nulns and Agrexes. Sonic Tonic I like for certain things. I like Sonic Tonic when you want to put one wash on everything and have it make sense. Alright, let's put another skin tone on Bingo here. Still accenting Bingo because I gotta get in my head that it's Bingo, not Banjo. Bingo's flipping ripped. Look at him. Bingo's gonna yeet this, doesn't need a grenade launcher, he's just gonna flip and throw it at you at Mach 6. Alright, now we're safe to move on to the rest of the armor, because now sorry, I'm sniffing. Hello, I'm here to chill with owners to watch our painting. That's fair. I mean, and I very much understand that like a lot of folks aren't watching, they're listening, and that's perfectly fine with me. Spoiler, when I'm watching other people, quote unquote, watching people stream painting, I'm not generally, I glance up at the stream while I'm waiting for things to dry, but I'm usually painting my own things or playing a video game in the background, and I fully know that, so I do not take it personally at all. But it's interesting, right? Because you wouldn't, or I won't say you wouldn't, because I don't know you, or I do, well, you know what I mean. I don't know what your opinion on this is, but I personally, if someone was like, okay, this is an audio-only thing, paint while you listen, I would be less interested. Like, I don't know why, because, like, realistically, that's all I'm actually engaging with, is the audio, right? Like, when I watch, Tabletop Minions stream or whatever, or I watch lots of other, or Sam or whoever else stream, I'm not really engaging with their painting much. I'm just kind of like listening to them, and if they say something I might look up about the painting, I might look up, but usually I'm just listening to the people, to the vibes. And yet, if Uncle Adam, as Tabletop Minions, as an example, popped up and said, hey, audio only stream today, I'd be like, oh, that's kind of weird. So I guess it's like having the the offering of video is important for me. And I guess that it's projected in I'm also not that patient. I tend to go for grayer, grimier acidic. Yeah, that's also very true, and you don't often see super grimy non-metallic metal. That's more of a thing of shininess, because when things get grimy, the light, I'm not going to say it gets less important. It's not. It's still all about the light, but it's not the same kind of like super specific light placement. Yeah, non-metallic metal is also not super my style, but I've also not tried it, and I feel like it's important. It'll be important to try it at some point, because at some point I think I will paint like a knight in shining armor. You know, I've got Bretonnians cast, my Stormcast Bretonnians, that when I paint them, they will not be grimed up. They will be knights in shining armor, and I'm probably going to. That will be when I try non-metallic metal. Even if you try it and then go, screw this, you know, I think it'll still make me a better painter for having tried. Okay. This is a very bright color, so we gotta be careful with this. Although the wash will really help. Is he wearing a glove? No, he's not wearing a glove. I need to do that skin too. It's like the first time I painted a guy not wearing a glove in a long time. The wash will really help dim this down. Because right now, yeah, I mean, it looks like I'm painting, well, a cartoon character. Which is appropriate both for this being Bluey and also for this being Wacky Races, as we keep calling it. Probably not earning any points with GW from that, but, you know, I kind of don't care. I think any chance we ever had of GW giving us stuff is long past. I think they've just decided we're not going to get stuff at this point. I know there's smaller channels that get stuff and we don't. And it's hard to talk about this without like sounding like sour grapes, but I think honestly the bigger reason is that nowadays when they send people stuff, they want it to be painted and like send it out, and that's not something we've ever shown ourselves to do. Now that we have Kevin and Cody, both of whom are actually very capable, very fast and capable fast painters, I'm somewhat capable and very not fast. Mitchell's also capable, but doesn't particularly like painting. Sports on the radio rather than watching TV, for example. Interesting. So I wonder if that's just a it's a shared grounding framing, like grabbing a coffee with a friend, so just sitting down, staring at each other's eyes awkwardly. That's a good point, Daniel. This is kind of like a third space almost. Yes, washes are great for grounding everything and tying them together. Washes do so much lifting for terrain. That's one of the reasons why I like the Sonic Tonic so much. You put this on and it ties it really brings the room together like a rug. This is hurting my eyes in the best way possible. I love it. I feel that. I have to be in the right mindset to go months without touching a brush and then paint. Can go months without putting and then paint for 34 minutes in the week. Yeah. You never seen the control the creatives I don't like. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and we try to stay generally positive about things, even, but when we don't like something, we don't. What we will not do is say we like something if we do not. We don't tend to focus on the negatives of it, just kind of as the nature of our, like the status of our, our production company and all that stuff. But we don't, like, I'm not going to go, wow, this, if 11th edition is a tire fire, I'm not going to go, wow, 11th edition is a great game, you should buy it right now. If I think something is great and I tell you that it's worth your money, which you'll notice I do a lot less with the Games Workshop stuff because it's a lot more money now, right? I do still think it's great stuff. It's also, like, my rent, you know? Like, literally a cog fort is half my rent. And I have cheap rent. And, this will need some black lining to, make it work. I'm on camera, am I? Dang it. Sorry. Sorry, you can tell I'm focusing on the small stuff right here because I'm... Stop talking. Stop running my mouth. That's why I need to get music going. Last time we got hit with a bunch of shared copyright stuff. And of course, it's the YouTube thing where, like, 14 different companies hit you with all the same thing. It's like, oh, so you all own this, do you? Rats. I like their minis, I like their games, I generally like how they treat their employees. And that's about it. Yeah, like, wow, that's cheap rent. I mean, it's because I live in a one-room apartment. And not a very big one. Over top of a wood shop. Believe me, it's appropriately cost. I'll tell you what, unlike a lot of people, I pay a rent which is appropriate for the dwellings I live in. But I am looking to upgrade. I've been selling off a lot of old Warhammer stuff I've just not gotten to, and I'm selling off my entire Marines army because I've never painted it. And people are like, oh, you're going to get into 11th edition? I'm like, no, I'm going to try and get into a new place to live. So how long before the Wacky Race Battle Report? I don't know. I think you should check our back tomorrow, though, and see what's on the subscriptions page. Yeah, it's tomorrow. Unless something goes disastrous. I mean, it's already edited. It's already done. It is set to go live tomorrow. So unless something goes wrong with YouTube or something, which I'm not going to say won't happen because we know how YouTube works, it's tomorrow. And I'm very happy with it. I had a ton of fun filming that. And I had a lot of fun watching it back. Yeah, we got some rules mistakes wrong. It was our very first one. There's definitely some things we could learn. Not to unsell it to you, because I think you'll have fun watching it. And I think that's the important thing. But, yeah. So, check back tomorrow. Being a gunpowder person, what you all pay for plastic always feels like a crime. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is true. It is a luxury item, but, GW has successfully positioned it so that they can feel like the hobby sometimes. And then when you do that, and then the prices are so bad, people can feel like they're priced out of the hobby. Now, the solution to that, of course, is to let people know that there are other things in this hobby besides Games Workshop. And I love Necromunda. So, I'm not telling people to stop playing Necromunda. I'm not. I'm painting a Games Workshop mini right now. But there's lots of things in this hobby you can do that do not cost money. At all, let alone, or at least not very much money. And certainly not Games Workshop prices. And I should have painted that skin first, because now it's... Okay, so, right now this looks like a clown fiesta. And I'm going to try putting the ivory on the boots, because in the show her boots are the same ivory cream color. I have a feeling it's not going to stay like that, because I have a feeling that's just going to unbalance the mini and be too brightly colored. And I have a feeling that the boots will be a neutral, like a brown. Because that would make actually way more sense. Yeah, it's not going to work. I can just look at that and say it's not going to work. We all know how YouTube works. We do. Does anyone does YouTube? Okay, sorry. We all know how YouTube doesn't work. Sometimes. Yeah, all right. Now, a lot of this is going to be determined by what I do with the helmet here, because let me look at Banjo again. Bingo! I keep doing it. Bingo's head is entirely that darker color. Bingo, their mom, whose name I do not know, sorry, is... But it does have, let me see, did it have that cream color down the middle, right? Yeah, and on the muzzle. Okay, so that's how Bingo's going to work. This is almost freehanding. I'm kind of guided here. But not really. What color are Bingo's eyes? Bingo's eyes, I mean, okay, they're giant and white, so they don't really have a... Yeah, okay, never mind. Oops. I like how I got on a roll with Bingo here, so I've kind of neglected Bluey, the actual name of the show. Oops. Look, you gotta do what you gotta do. Everything I do. Yeah, I wish I could... Is there a way to have ads on YouTube streaming? Because, you know, we do need to make some money from this, unfortunately. I'm not going to tell you should use an ad blocker, but I'm not going to tell you shouldn't. If there isn't... Yeah, we've always talked about, like, doing a Patreon or something instead, but I think we're all hesitant to take that step. Maybe because it makes it feel too real. So this thing will also be a cream color. Yeah, there we go. This is going to be hard because I'm going to have to functionally freehand that up there. That'll make her look a lot more like Bingo. Doesn't seem to be working at the moment. That's weird. I realize it's weird for me to be saying, well, what ad blocker do you use? Let me help you avoid the ads on our channel. But I hate ads, so I use... I don't remember. Oh my god. It's what comes... It's the good one that everyone uses. There we go. So that immediately makes her look more like a dog. Okay, so we'll need to clean up that up. And that's going to be the hard part. U-block, yeah, that's one. Ad revenue on streaming is dire across the board. Yeah, yeah, I won't, yeah, sorry. Some things I don't really want to talk about here, just because it's between producer and stuff like that. But I think I have a feeling that if we turned off the ads entirely, it wouldn't particularly affect how much money we make off of these streams. But thank you all for your support. I really do appreciate it, even if it's not directly monetary, because I could just paint here alone, and it would be fine. I'd put on, well, someone else's stream. But, you know, it's kind of like the, there is no cloud, it's all somebody's server. Someone's got to do the streaming. Besides, it means you guys can tell me about how it's actually Bingo and not Banjo. I think for the next one, I'm just going to turn them off and see what happens. I can't see. Okay, I messed that up a little bit. Doot. Like I said, not going for a Sunday rundown today because it's nothing worth talking about. Oops, forgot to do the collar up here. This is also a different color. There we go. That helps. It helps a lot. There we go. Yeah, that does help break up the silhouette a fair bit. Yeah. Get that in there too. Holding my breath. Oh, messed it up. That's okay. Come on. And there we go. Got it. Yeah. There we go. I guess it won't be too hard to just... run a brush under that and fix that at least. Okay. Let's get that orange here, and then we need to line this up because with just the cream there, it's doesn't look particularly good. But if I put this here, there we go. Oops, I have to redo that cream in the middle. All on the quest of a believable bingo. Well, now we definitely need to do another Wacky Races episode. Because damned if I'm going to paint this thing and have it not get used on channel somewhere. Yeah, I'm really screwing this up. That's okay. Probably okay to be a little messy. Okay. Whew. Remember that Banjo is a bear and that the orange dog-type creature from Down Under is Crash. Well, I know Crash. Well, despite you do not ever feel bad about not being able to donate or anything like that. We don't, yeah. We wanted to charge people for it. We charge people for it. We are not charging people for it. We just want to share it with people. Badger, yeah, I can see that. Remember that, yeah. Soon, TM. No, it's not soon. It's tomorrow, Spudgy. No, don't worry, Duke Moosey. Someone did call me out on that one. Bandit as a reference this whole time and Bingo. No. I've been using Bluey and Bingo, but I did take some creative liberties because I want it to look good more than I want it to be accurate to show. Oh. That paint's still not dry. Probably shouldn't have stuck my brush up in there. Well, whose fault is that? For consistency. Okay. God, those ads are terrible. I'm turning those off. Screw it. Be the change you wish to see in the world, right? Okay, time to break out. I guess we're just doing bingo, bango, bongo. Trouble in the Congo. Oh, referencing when you get a job. Yeah, that one. I wish I could help you with that, but you hear it, folks? The show looks bad. PhD submitted for, ooh. There you go. You think it could be Dr. Spudgy. Dr. Spudgy. That sounds like a great TV show. Alright, I think I can get some browns down, and then I'll have to call it. So Rhinox Hide is a nice brown that has a lot of purple in it. And purple is a nice, I don't remember if it's complementary, but it's a nice counterpoint to orange. So we're going to get some Rhinox Hide to use for our browns, because that way it'll kind of be something a little different. So let's get that brown there. I can't use black because if I used black, it would look like a construction zone real fast. The brown will also help ground this mini into Necromunda a little. And as opposed to being just a giant bluey joke, which I mean it is, but oops. That's okay. That I don't know what I'm going to paint that strap. I guess that strap's probably going to be a strap gray. I definitely need to pay attention to the back on this guy because as he's being used on a racer, he will very often be being viewed from the back and not the front. As opposed to Bluey, whom you can't see from the back because there's a giant plate in where she's sitting. Alright, so we got brown shoes. Is there any brown belt in here I can put in? Yeah, there is. You can barely see this, but this kind of, it's almost panel lining helps. Get it underneath there, and you know that it's there, and helps break up the lines a little bit. It's not a lot of other brown to have on her. Besides the weird double glove that she has because her hand is a converted her hand is Orlock, but the forearm is still Hive Scum. So I think what we'll do here is we'll paint the actual glove in a Rhinox hide, but then we'll make the forearm glove, the elbow glove, I guess you'd call it, the orange that matches her other side. This definitely is going to need some shading. Currently, this still is in Clown Fiesta Clown Fiesta stage. And boy, does it look it. But I have faith that I will be able to get this to something a little more appealing with some washes and some shades. And most importantly, I think some highlighting. And because these guys aren't going into a gang, these guys will get a full highlight treatment. Which eventually I'd like to do with my Orlocks too, but I don't. I'm more worried about getting them on the table. Alright. Well, I think we are going to give it a call there. Sky Shield, let me run the stream worth a day. Oh, geez, Louise. Thank you so much. Pitch thing. Yeah, it's something we've been talking about starting next month on Sunday. I can work on things while watching the stream. Oh, cool, thank you. Well, thank you so much, Sky Shield, for $20, really letting us going out on a bang here. PhDs in wastewater. Dr. Poo. Dr. Spudgy Poo. Oh God. Um, I can't go with 8 an orange and black. It's a dog, not a cat. Exactly. Yeah, it's not Garfield. That's a different conversion. We'll do that later. Um, that's like several thousand views. Like there. Yeah, exactly. I think I'm just gonna turn off ads next time. As far as our Patreon goes, oh boy, that's we're all hesitant to like take that leap. I don't know why, but we're discussing it, and maybe someday, we got to think about how we want to do it in a way that is satisfactory to all parties involved. And by all parties, I really mean you guys, because you guys are the heart and soul of this. We all have day jobs, and we're actually quite fine. So, thank you all for only 10 more for the COG fund. Do not try and fund us a COG fort. I will get actually mad, because then I'd have to build and paint it. And I don't want that. Please, no. Don't make me build and paint a COG fort. You monsters. Well, I'm going to call it for today, because while I don't have to do a stream with Mitchell, I do have to go do some outdoor work before the weather turns into a giant thunderstorm, which is actually good because I want it to rain on my plants, but not yet. I got to put some mulch down first. So you all have a wonderful Sunday. Check your subscriptions box tomorrow. We have our first battle report coming out of the Necromunda Wacky Races, aka Wheels of Fury. I had a lot of fun filming that. We all did. Cody put a lot of work into making it look very good. So if you think it's great, leave a comment telling Cody how great you think it is and how great the edit is specifically, because he's the one who is the gears behind the scenes of making that race look good, right? So let him know. And I will see you all sometime, hopefully, if nothing else, next Sunday, if you are available Saturday. If you're available Thursday, don't you do it, Duke Mosey. Don't you do it. I got nowhere else to go. If you're available Thursday, that's the night when we kind of do a party stream. And depends. I'm always there, but sometimes Cody or Mitchell or Kevin joins us as well if you want to hear us chat and yell at each other over dumb things. That's the night to do it. Plant stream when? Well, I don't really plant them by a stream. I plant them, just in a crop, and then you just water them like a stream. Yeah. Literally. Okay. Is watching plants grow the only thing more boring than watching paint dry? I'll leave you on that question. And I hope you all have a wonderful week. Enjoy the weather if it's good. If it's not, stay safe. Stay safe anyway. Have a great weekend, everybody.